Hampi, the forgotten heart of the Vijayanagara Empire, a place where the gods once walked among men. In the 16th century, it was the second largest city on the planet, trailing only Beijing in its size and splendor. Today, it is a haunting graveyard of temples and palaces that stretches across more than 4,000 hectares of rugged terrain. Why did such a colossal civilization collapse in a single day? How can a city so rich in diamonds and culture simply be erased from the map for centuries? As we journey through these ruins, ask yourself if greatness is always destined to end in ruin. If you are fascinated by the rise and fall of empires, hit the subscribe button and join us as we uncover the mystery of Hampi. Hampi is not just a place on a map, it is a spiritual landscape carved into the very bones of the earth. Long before any king placed a crown upon his head, this land was known as Pampa Kshetra. It is a terrain of surreal beauty, dominated by massive granite boulders that glow orange under the Indian sun. The Tungabhadra River flows through this rocky wasteland, acting as a lifeline for a civilization that defied nature. This river is more than just water, it is the liquid soul of the region, carrying legends of the Hindu epic, the Ramayana. Have you ever wondered how a landscape so harsh could become the birthplace of a divine empire? Here, Rama and Hanuman are said to have met, forging an alliance that changed the fate of the cosmos. The rocks you see today are believed to be the same ones used by the monkey army to build a bridge across the sea. Religion and geography are inseparable in this corner of the world. Mythology tells us of the goddess Parvati, who performed intense penance on these very stones to win the heart of Lord Shiva. Her devotion gave the land its sacred identity, turning a wilderness into a pilgrimage site. Even today, the Vittala Temple stands as a testament to this eternal connection. It has survived for centuries, its towers reaching toward the sky while empires crumbled around it. Is it possible that the spiritual energy of a place can protect it even when the walls of a city are torn down? The temple remains active, a living pulse in a city of ghosts, where bells still ring and prayers still rise. It is a strange contrast to see life flourishing in a place where so much was lost to time. The political story of Hampi began in the year 1336. At that time, southern India was in a state of chaos as older kingdoms collapsed under external pressure. Two brothers, Harihara I and Bukka I, saw an opportunity in the ruins of the old world. They founded the Vijayanagara Empire, a name that literally means the city of victory. They did not just build a city, they built a statement of defiance and power. From a small settlement on the banks of the river, Vijayanagara grew into a sprawling metropolis that dominated the southern peninsula. How do two individuals turn a pile of rocks into the seat of a global superpower? It was a combination of military genius, strategic location, and an unshakable belief in their divine right to rule. By the early 16th century, Hampi had become a global metropolis of unimaginable wealth. Foreign travelers from Persia, Italy, and Portugal arrived here and were left speechless by what they saw. They described markets filled with rubies, emeralds, and diamonds that were sold openly on the streets like common grain. The economy was a juggernaut, fueled by trade in horses, spices, and fine silks. The Tungabhadra River was lined with bustling ports, connecting the inland capital to the global maritime routes. Can you imagine a world where gold was so abundant that it was used to decorate the walls of common shops? This was the peak of the empire under King Krishnadvarya, a ruler who blended the roles of warrior, poet, and architect. The architecture of Hampi was a marvel of human engineering and artistic vision. The city was divided into distinct zones, each serving a specific purpose for the empire. There was the sacred center, where temples like the Vittala Temple stood as masterpieces of stone. Have you ever heard a stone sing? The Vittala Temple features musical pillars that, when tapped, emit the sounds of different instruments. This was not just art, it was an advanced understanding of acoustics and geology. Nearby, the stone chariot sits as a symbol of the empire's movement and divine journey, carved with such detail that it looks ready to roll across the plains. These structures were built to last forever, yet they now stand as silent witnesses to a lost era. Beyond the temples lay the royal center, the heart of the administration and the home of the elite. Here, the architecture shifted from the divine to the practical and the ceremonial. You would find the king's balance, where the monarch was weighed against gold and gems to be distributed to the poor. The Lotus Mahal and the elephant stables show a unique blend of Hindu and Islamic styles, proving that Hampi was a melting pot of cultures. It was a city that looked outward, absorbing influences from its neighbors while maintaining its own fierce identity. How does a civilization manage to stay so diverse and yet so united under a single crown? The urban core was filled with sophisticated water systems, showing a level of city planning that was centuries ahead of its time. Hampi was a multi-religious cultural hub where different faiths coexisted in a delicate balance. While the empire was a bastion of Hindu culture, it was never a closed society. Jain shrines stood peacefully alongside grand Hindu temples, and Islamic architectural elements were woven into the palaces. This fusion symbolized a sophisticated, multi-ethnic civilization that understood the value of diversity in trade and governance. It was a place where Persian merchants shared meals with local traders and Portuguese soldiers served in the king's guard. Does prosperity always lead to tolerance, or was this balance the very reason for the city's success? This cultural richness made Hampi a beacon of light in the medieval world, attracting the brightest minds and the most skilled craftsmen. But the higher a civilization rises, the harder it falls. The year 1565 marks the darkest chapter in Hampi's long history. At the Battle of Talikota, a coalition of Deccan sultanates joined forces to bring down the Vijayanagara giant. The empire's forces were led by Rama Raya, an ambitious leader who perhaps overestimated his own strength. In a single day of blood and fire, the army was defeated, and the king was captured and executed. What followed was one of the most brutal sackings in human history. The victors did not just take the gold, they sought to erase the city from existence. For 6 months, the capital was looted, burned, and systematically destroyed. The destruction was so thorough that the city was never reoccupied. Imagine the scene of a metropolis of 500,000 people being reduced to a ghost town in a matter of weeks. The magnificent markets were silenced, the water systems were smashed, and the statues of the gods were defaced. The survivors fled into the surrounding hills, leaving behind a skeleton of stone and memory. Hampi was abandoned to the elements, forgotten by the world for nearly 300 years. The jungle began to reclaim the streets, and the boulders once again became the masters of the landscape. Is it not terrifying how quickly a world-class city can be turned into a pile of rubble? It was not until the year 1800 that the world began to remember Hampi. A British surveyor named Colin Mackenzie happened upon the ruins and began the slow process of documentation. He was overwhelmed by the scale of what he found, realizing that these were not just random ruins, but the remains of a lost superpower. Subsequent archaeological studies revealed the true brilliance of the Vijayanagara civilization. Each stone turned over by researchers told a story of a culture that excelled in art, science, and commerce. The rediscovery of Hampi was a reminder to the world that history is often buried, but it is never truly dead. Today, Hampi stands as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, described by many as an austere and grandiose landscape. It is a place of deep contrasts, where the stillness of the ruins meets the vibrant energy of modern pilgrims. You can walk through the empty markets and still feel the ghost of the commerce that once happened there. The granite boulders remain unchanged, standing as they have for millions of years, indifferent to the rise and fall of human kings. When you stand in the middle of the royal center, you realize that power is a fleeting shadow. The stone remains, but the breath of the empire is gone. Why are we so drawn to ruins, if not to see the reflection of our own mortality? The economy of modern Hampi is now driven by tourism and heritage. People from every corner of the globe travel to these remote ruins to catch a glimpse of the past. The local community survives by sharing the stories of their ancestors, keeping the flame of the Vijayanagara Empire alive in a different way. The agriculture in the surrounding valleys still relies on the same river that once fed the emperors. It is a strange, circular journey of life, where the collapse of a city paved the way for a quiet, rural existence. Does the land remember the weight of the palaces, or has it found peace in its current silence? As we conclude our journey through the ruins of Hampi, we are left with more questions than answers. Is progress a straight line, or do we move in cycles of building and breaking? The story of Hampi is a tragedy, but it is also a beautiful testament to human creativity. It shows us that even in total destruction, beauty can endure. What part of Hampi's story resonated with you the most? Was it the singing stones, the markets of diamonds, or the final, catastrophic battle? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let us discuss the lessons of history together. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the heart of a forgotten empire, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us continue to bring these incredible stories of our world to life.